1850. The place, a small spring near Titusville, Pennsylvania.
Look at her, boy, there she be. Petroleum bubbling up to the top of that spring. Petra for rock, oleum for oil.
Plop? Plop?
The blanket lummox. Now watch and learn. The bottles, you poltroon, the bottles. Now, this is the way we gather our petroleum, boy. Now hold that bottle steady. Hallelujah, we are in business now. Makes the blind see, makes the lame walk. One dose of Iroquois tonic and the Jim Jams and the Collywobbles all disappear. Comes right from the very bowels of the earth. And I am selling it to you for $1, 8 bits, 10 thin dimes. $1, folks, and this bottle of Iroquois tonic is yours. Yes, sir, here you are. Come, boy. Here you are, sir. Yes, sir. Here you are. Iroquois tonic, nature's miraculous remedy, the red man's secret of health.
It's useless. Bunk. As a medical remedy, why, the bottle's worth more.
It's no good? Not at all?
Mr. Townsend, you came to my laboratory at Yale and asked me to investigate this petroleum.
Perhaps if people just rub it on and don't drink it?
Mr. Bissell, as a health remedy in any form, petroleum is absurd. But as a fuel for lamps, it's extraordinary. Also as a lubricant for machinery.
Lamps, the lubricants.
Now, if you can develop a method for securing this petroleum in sufficient quantities, why, a whole new industrial age might begin.
We thought of it as a patent medicine.
All we wanted from you, Professor, was a testimonial. I mean, you being the most eminent chemist in the country.
Well, gentlemen, you should be glad that I've given you instead the world.
But to these two promoters, the problem is what to do with the world. Here, on the other hand, is a man who knows what to do with the world. But he has problems of his own.
Conductor, is this train going to leave on time? Young man, I'm speaking to you. Is this train going to be on time?
You know, I was just thinking that if one more person asked me that question, I was going to quit. Madam, I am grateful to you. If you want the train to be on time, you signal the engineer. I'm going home.
And here, an irate passenger who could not know she had just changed history.
I'm home, Laura.
You quit, Edwin, didn't you? Well, I'd better make some tea.
Oh, Laura, I just couldn't stand it anymore. New Haven to New York to New Haven, back and forth, and all those foolish questions all the time. Will the train be on time? Is the train running late? Conductor, the window's stuck. Oh, Laura. I just wasn't getting anywhere. You're not angry, are you?
Remember that job as the hotel clerk? And the job on the Erie Canal boat? I wasn't angry then, was I? As a matter of fact, Edwin, I was expecting this.
That's my Laura. You know, someday I'm going to get hold of something and I'm going to stick. Something about which people will say, there's only one man in the whole world could have done that. Edwin Laurentine Drake.
I'm sure of that. Only...
Only what?
Well, until that happens, we have to eat. And we have to make the payments on this house. So, it's a good thing we have some money in the bank.
We had money in the bank. Well, Laura, it was like this. This fellow on the train, he was a Mr. Townsend. He's a very, very important banker in town, and he offered me some stock in his new company.
And you bought it?
$200 worth.
From a passenger on the train?
Look, I'll sell it right back to him, Laura. I'll go down there right now, and I'll tell him I've changed my mind. Now, don't you worry about a thing. I'll get that money right back.
You gotta buy this stock back. I've been talking to people. I sell meat. People talk. They tell me this ain't worth the paper it's written on.
That's slander, sir. That's just gossip started by jealous business rivals. Now, let me tell you, in a little while, you're gonna give up the butcher business, and you're gonna live like an Oriental prince. Just be patient. Patient.
Yeah, but how patient?
Just until we get the oil. Our reports are very enthusiastic.
You got a man down in Titusville?
Why, most assuredly, my friend. And right this minute, he's very close to success. So you hold on to your stock. You go back to your butcher shop, and you chop beef with a calm mind. Good day, Mr. Johnson. Boy, that's the third one today.
James, we're facing disaster.
Don't you think I know that? Buy back the stock. Can't even sell it. As if the whole world is dried up. Nobody wants even one single share of Seneca oil.
Well, perhaps we ought to send a man down to Titusville.
Send a man down to Titusville? Where are we going to get the money? Come in!
Pardon me, I'm looking for Mr. Townsend. Oh.
Edwin!
Yeah.
Oh, Edwin, my old friend. How good to see you. Mr. Bissell, I'd like you to meet one of our stockholders.
How do you do, sir?
He's presently associated with the New Haven Railroad. Mr. Edwin Drake. Sit down, won't you?
Thank you very much.
How have you been?
Very well, thank you, sir.
Good, good. Now, don't tell me, Edwin. Let me tell you, huh? You've come here to purchase some more of these very valuable petroleum stocks, haven't you? I'm aware of the fact that you got in rather cheaply last time, but the picture's changed. Company's booming. The market price has risen, so I'm afraid you're going to have to pay a little bit more to get in this time.
Well, I'm afraid I don't want to get in, Mr. Townsend. I want to get out.
Say that again?
Out. You see, I'm a little short of funds, and I thought perhaps if you could buy back the stock.
You've come in a very unfortunate moment, Mr. Drake. We are just about to close up.
Well, now, don't misunderstand me, Mr. Townsend. I haven't forgotten that report you showed me on the train.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, every time I think about the possibilities of petroleum, I just get excited all over again, but...
Then why do you want to sell your stock?
Well, I'm out of work, Mr. Bissell. It's true, the railroad and I have parted company. All I have in the world is 1 week's salary and a free railroad pass.
A free what?
A free railroad pass.
This is fate. This is absolutely fate. This is history, Edwin. This is destiny.
Well, what is?
You're out of work.
Yes?
You're looking for a connection.
Yes.
How would you like to be associated with the Seneca Oil Company of New Haven, Connecticut? In an executive capacity, of course. In charge of field exploration.
Well, me?
I know you, Edwin. You're a jack of all trades, but you're also a man with vision. I haven't forgotten what you told me. You were bored. You were just waiting for opportunity to knock. Well, this is it. How would you like to go down to Titusville and look the situation over? Report to us.
Report on what?
Whether you think it's possible to increase the flow of petroleum from that Titusville spring. Do you know, on the basis of your report, you may be responsible for a whole new era in American industry. Just think of it. Millions of homes alight with petroleum lamps. Countless machines, all whirring and buzzing with oil lubricants. You and you alone can do this, Edwin.
Well, it sounds grand, but is there a salary?
Edwin, we must all take risks. Every member of this company. Later we'll talk about salary, after you've sent your report.
Titusville. That's in the Allegheny Mountains.
Don't think of it as wilderness. Think of it as new country. Just waiting for a conqueror.
I can do something no one has ever done before.
Absolutely.
Agreed. I'll do it, Mr. Townsend.
Mr. Bissell, he agrees. Mr. Drake has joined the company. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Sit down, Edwin, sit down.
Thank you.
Well. Now, Edwin, as men of business, we have to think of economics. Now, on this venture down to Titusville, do you have any ideas on how we could save any money?
Well, let's see. Save money. Of course. I know how to do it. I can save the railroad fare down to Titusville by using my free pass.
Excellent. Edwin, that's excellent, really. You know, I never would have thought of that. I wouldn't have thought of that in a million years.
Titusville, northwest corner of Pennsylvania. Population, 125. One general store, one livery stable, one hotel, and a bubbling spring.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
It's quite a phenomenon.
Not to me, it ain't.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, because it just seeps into everything.
Is there that much of it?
Mister, I'm a farmer. Now, a farmer don't waste nothing. And I done found only one good use for that there oil.
What's that, sir?
Well, sir, it smells so bad awful it keeps the blowflies off me and my mules.
By the waters of the Titusville spring, Edwin Drake sat and wrote his report. An inspired amateur rendering an opinion to the world.
Splendid, Edwin. Excellent.
I believe it, Mr. Townsend. I believe it just as I believe that the sun will rise tomorrow morning. There's a lake of oil underneath that ground.
And you propose digging a well to reach it?
Well, why not? Nobody's tried that before. They've always skimmed it off the top, or they've soaked it up with blankets. They dig for salt, and they dig for water.
Wait a minute, just a second. I've read the report. Very well. We'll try it. And even if you don't reach oil, why, just the fact that you're down there attempting it is going to help us sell our stock. Edwin, you're hired to go to Titusville and dig for oil.
Congratulations, Mr. Drake.
Thank you. Now, gentlemen, about the salary.
$1,000 a year, plus expenses.
Wonderful. I accept.
On to Titusville. Goodbye, Edwin.
Oh. Goodbye, gentlemen.
We'll send you the money. Of course, we'll have to raise it first.
In May of 1858, the main industries of Titusville were lumbering, farming, and trapping beaver and skunk. In the evening, though, there was light entertainment.
Tarnation, but if it isn't that fella Drake. Why, welcome back to Titusville, Mr. Drake.
Thank you.
The missus? Oh, excuse us, ma'am. The men were just funning. I'm Billy Robinson, proprietor of this hotel.
My wife and I would like accommodations, Mr. Robinson.
Well, this isn't a New York hotel, ma'am, but we got beds. Well, now, what did you come back to Titusville for?
Petroleum. Oil.
Again?
That's right. I plan to dig for it.
You're gonna do what?
Dig. With a shovel.
Now, you can't be serious, mister.
What do I owe for the room and board?
$6.50 a week for you and the missus. Oh, Dickon, that's kind of foolish, isn't it? There really isn't much oil, you know, only a tiny little bit. A couple of gallons that seeps to the top of the creek.
How would you know if there's only a little bit?
Well, I've got eyes in me head, haven't I?
Has anyone ever tried to dig for it? Have any of you? Well, you use your eyes, Mr. Robinson. I'll use my brains and my hands. Now, which way to our room, if you please?
It's at the top of the stairs.
Thank you.
Oh, aye. There was a letter come for you. Funny, though. Last time you was here, it was Mr. Drake. This time, it's Colonel Drake. Must have been a war in New Haven.
Well, Edwin, I didn't know you were a colonel.
It was Mr. Townsend's idea. Give me a title. He said it would impress the backwoods people, make them respect me. I told him it was a foolish thing to do. Laura. It's money. The company sent money. Hallelujah. Oh, everything's rosy now. Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Colonel Drake.
I'm Fletcher.
Mr. Fletcher.
I'm Wilson.
How are you, sir? Now, gentlemen, I'd like some shovels and some picks.
Shovels, eh? Picks.
Let's see, I'll also need some spikes, I believe.
Well, I'll tell you, Colonel. I got none of them things.
None?
No, I sold my last shovel to Abner Fenwick about 2 months ago. I don't expect another shipment for weeks.
Do you mean to say there isn't a pick or shovel in this entire town? Well, how am I supposed to dig a well with my bare hands?
Wouldn't recommend that, Colonel. Unless you got badgers working for you.
I've had enough senseless jokes in this town, sir.
Now, hold on a minute. Don't get so riled, Colonel.
All right, gentlemen, where do I get what I want?
Erie.
Well, that's 45 miles from here. It's a long piece to walk.
Well, I don't mind walking if I have to, but I prefer to ride. Do you have such a thing as a horse in stock?
Now, that's one thing I do happen to have. And you're welcome to borrow it any time, without charge.
Well, it's very kind, Mr. Fletcher.
That's because it's sort of second-hand merchandise. Been used. Mostly for plowing.
Let me tell you what he said. He's gonna pay me and Josh here $1 a piece a day. You hear that? $1 a day.
Don't worry about that bottle, Billy. We got ourselves some credit. Old Even and I found ourselves a fool with money in his pocket.
The colonel got his shovels, his picks, his spikes.
Yes, sir.
And by late June, Edwin Drake had begun his well.
Hey, Colonel, you keep digging, you're gonna hit China.
All right, boys, come on, keep digging. If you want to enjoy yourselves, you can join these other clowns. Come on, dig.
Yes, sir, Colonel. Yes, sir.
Colonel Drake?
Yes, sir.
I'm Brewer. Yeah, I own the lumber mill in these parts. Digging, eh? Right smart hole you got there. I come to do you a favor, young feller.
Oh? What might that be, sir?
Gonna save you grief. Ever see salt well drilling?
No?
You ain't very experienced, are you, young feller?
No, but I'm learning.
Now, salt well drillers, they hit water. What do? Pump. Yes, sirree, pump that water right out of the hole in the ground. Now, you ain't digging for salt. I know that. Oil. Petroleum. Bless you for a forward-looking man, but, what if you hit water, huh?
Water?
Well, sure. You ain't so far from the creek and the spring. You're bound to hit water. Now, how you gonna pump it out?
Well, I never thought of that.
That's why I come, young feller. I got a pump to sell you. Ain't brand new, but she's a dandy. Gets to work dependable like frogs in the moonlight. And since a young fella like you's got to be helped, you can have it cheap. Yes, sir. A little bit of cash will buy you lots of protection.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brewer. That's very kind and considerate of you. Thank you. I'll buy you a pump.
Good. I'll get it to you right away.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. He sure is a chicken asking to be plucked.
Hey, make way, fellas. The Colonel's lunch is coming. Hey, the Colonel's lunch is coming.
I came early. How's it coming?
Oh, it's coming along fine. Just fine.
I brought you some beef and pie.
Hey, missus, you ought to bring him some brain food.
August 1858. The hand-dug well was down 15 feet. The pump was set up. The sun was high. It was close to noon.
We did it. We hit oil!
Satisfied now, you maniac. You almost killed those two men. Well, ain't no one in this town gonna work for you no more. Oil. Daft, that's what you are. Daft.
Edwin!
Oh, no, you don't. It didn't work, Mr. Brewer. That pump you sold me didn't work. You swindled me.
You call me a thief, young feller?
You listen to me. I paid you cold cash for a pump that only dribbled water. Dribbled. And now I've got a shaft that's flooded and 2 men almost drowned. Yes, sir, you are a thief.
Now you look here. I see a little business, a chance to make a few dollars, I go after it. I didn't guarantee that pump would work the Atlantic Ocean. And I told you it wasn't brand new anyway. That was honest, wasn't it, folks?
I ought to break you in two.
Don't you dare touch me, young feller, don't you dare.
You just tried to get whatever you could out of me, like everybody else in this town.
Well, he was asking for it. Now maybe you'll quit.
Never. Because somehow, some way, Mr. Brewer, I'm going to get oil.
I'm talking about the digging, about doing something you don't know a thing about. I'll give you some advice, young feller. Free advice. You just got burned, eh? Well, learn something from it. Go on up to Tarentum and see them salt well drillers, mister. Learn how to dig a well. Yeah, you can learn something from us country people. Go on up to Tarentum and stop digging like some darned ignorant fool.
Mr. Brewer.
Huh?
The salt well drillers of Tarentum drilled by kicking down. Brine would rise to the surface in the narrow hole they drilled, and by evaporation, they would secure salt. It was September 1858 when Drake came to Tarentum. He looked around, he asked questions, and he got an idea.
That seems like a slow and tedious method of drilling a well.
That's right, mister. God gave man 2 legs, so we could use one for a spare. Any man with 3 legs would make a fortune here.
Mr. Brown?
Baby, why?
You're a salt well driller. I understand you're out of work.
Go away, I'm drinking.
I'd like to hire you to work for me.
Mister, I'm drinking. I don't like to be disturbed when I'm drinking.
I have a new method for drilling. Down in Titusville.
Since when they got salt down in Titusville?
Oh, I'm not drilling for salt. I'm drilling for oil.
What?
Petroleum. Now, I'll pay you $1 a foot for a straight 5-inch hole. I'll keep you in tobacco and food, but you'll have to wait till the job is done to be paid.
Go away, you loony. Get away from here.
I may be a loony, Mr. Brown, but you are a clod.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Mister, you remember me? Down at the salt well rig?
Oh, yes, yes.
I understand you was asked to hire a driller.
That's correct. And I'm drilling for oil, not for salt. I have a new method for drilling. Now, heaven help you if you laugh at me.
You know something? They say I'm a little loony, too. I always figure everybody's wrong but me. Where's your well?
Titusville.
Drilling for oil, huh?
That's what I said. Oil.
That's one thing I ain't never done before. Something tells me you and me belong together. I like your style. I'm Uncle Billy Smith. This is my grandson. He's 14. We'll, work for you, the both of us, for $2.50 a day. That fair?
Fair enough. I think you're my man, Mr. Smith. Josh, even, here you are.
Get your hands around underneath that table.
I'm looking all over for you. Boys, listen to me. Stop that. I need 2 men to build two wooden structures in a very special way. I have a new method for drilling.
New, huh?
Yes.
No, sir.
No, wait, boys, no, wait. It's
Last
perfectly
time?
safe.
No, sir.
Billy, bring some whiskey.
Almost drowned.
Now, listen. I plan to use power.
I knew was using power before, Colonel. Biceps. I mean, what's new with a man's muscle?
I'm not going to use muscle. This is what I'm going to drill with.
What's that?
I bought it in Tarentum. 6 horsepower. Long john type.
A steam boiler?
That's right.
They use them on steamboats, mister.
We didn't have any steamboats down here in Titusville.
I'm not going to use it for a steamboat. I'm going to use it to drill a well. Now, gentlemen, listen to me. When I worked on the Erie Canal boats, those boilers drove a piston shaft like this. Now, it seems to me if the shaft could be driven this way, it could be driven this way. I hired a driller, too. He and the boiler will be here by November. But I need buildings to house the rig. Can I count on you 2 gentlemen for a fair day's labor?
Same money?
Same money. All right.
All right.
Good. We start tomorrow at dawn.
Well, drink up.
By November, the steam boiler had arrived. And because he had begun to feel the pinch of money, Drake had written to his company in New Haven, funds. Everything has cost more than I expected. I will need more funds.
Edwin!
Oh, Laura, is it lunchtime already? The morning must have gone by like a shot.
No, this letter came for you. It's from the company in New Haven.
It's our money. My dear Edwin, we are quite upset over this expense for a steam boiler and those buildings you are erecting. We've been down in Titusville for 6 months already, and all we've gotten are bills and no oil. It's no wonder we're not selling any stock. My friend, we cannot continue to pour money down an empty hole. In fact, we're beginning to wonder whether the whole speculation makes any sense at all. Therefore, I'm sorry, but we cannot send you any more funds for expenses. No more money. But I only paid $100 down for that steam boiler. I still owe $400. I owe wages to my workmen. I have tools to buy.
Hey, Colonel.
Colonel, remember me? I'm Sammy Smith. Uncle Billy's my grandfather.
Yes, of course. Where is he? Is he here?
No, sir. He fell off a drilling platform in Tarentum and busted his leg. He won't be able to come to Titusville till next spring.
I can't wait till spring. I'm in debt already. I can't wait that long.
Edwin,
What?
stop it. Let the boy alone and stop shouting at him. What's the matter with you? It isn't his fault.
I'm sorry.
Edwin.
I'll have to pay for that boiler myself, Laura. And the lumber and the workmen.
But how?
Well, out of what's left of my salary, I guess.
But Edwin.
Laura, what else am I going to do? I've got to stick it out till spring.
But Edwin, if we use up your salary, I mean what's left of it, on the boiler and the workmen, well, how'll we live? How'll we pay our bills?
Well, I'll ask for credit, I guess.
But we'll lose everything. We'll be paupers.
Are you afraid, Laura? Is that it?
Have I ever been before? It was you I was thinking about.
Then I'll tell you this. I live anyway. I'll do anything, because nothing else matters to me except that I drill this well.
So, that's it, Colonel. That's why you want credit.
I need more equipment. I need ropes, chains, cable. I want it all ready when my driller gets here.
Which ain't gonna be till spring.
I'll tell you something, Colonel. I got more faith in the Judgment Day than I got in oil.
In other words, the answer is no.
Now, hold on. I ain't said that. Fact is, I like you, Colonel. Yes, sir, any man that has the nerve to go on in the teeth of these conditions, well, that man's got my cheer.
Fletcher means you got credit, friend.
Poverty was something these mountain people could understand. And the jeering, the mockery, all stopped. Here in the backwoods, nobody laughed at a man who was poor. Billy Robinson, proprietor of the American Hotel, invited Drake to a free drink on the house. He was willing to extend credit, too. December became January. January changed to February, and still no answers came from the company in New Haven in reply to his continuous pleading for funds. Then it was late March, and spring was in the air. A country dance was held to greet it.
Well, I'm sorry I'm late, Laura. I was out at the well. I clean forgot about that party tonight. What's all this?
I'm packing, as you can very well see. I'm leaving.
You're what?
Leaving. You sold our house in New Haven, Edmund, didn't you?
Laura.
Don't lie to me. I received a letter from the new owner. She wanted to know if I'd like some of our old furniture, since she doesn't have any use for it.
Laura, listen to me.
Without telling me.
Laura, will you please listen? Yes, I had to do it. To raise money. To pay some of our bills. And to pay for the drilling this spring. The only reason I didn't tell you was that I didn't want to hurt you, that's all.
You sold our home, Edwin, without asking. Without even telling me.
Laura.
It isn't the fact that you sold our home. That doesn't surprise me. But that you as good as lied to me. That's what hurts. That hurts, and that's why I'm going.
Laura, will you please try to understand?
I didn't mind being poor. I didn't mind the abuse and humiliations because it came from strangers. But if you lie to me, if you don't trust me, well, that's an insult. From someone I thought who needed me. From someone I loved. And that I cannot bear.
Laura.
Let me be. I'm going.
All right, if you're packing, pack a bag for me, too. What good is it if I find oil and I lose you? Laura. You're the last and only fire I have to warm my hands at. If you go, that fire goes out. Everything will be winter then. I don't think I could stand being that much alone. Wherever you go, Laura, I go too.
Well, you wouldn't have come down, so we brought the party up to you. That's right, Colonel. Now dance. Now let's see you and the missus dance. Come on, the winter's gone. Let your joy be unconfined. A waltz for my friend Colonel Drake and his lady.
Forgive me, Laura. I can't help it if I'm not an easy man.
Colonel Drake! He's coming, Colonel. My pa, he's coming. He sent me on ahead, but he'll be here in a few days.
On May 19th, 1859, Uncle Billy Smith, the driller, arrived. And in May, 1 year after Drake first came to Titusville, actual drilling began. The bore was 10 feet down.
Well, what do you think? Slow. Sure is a wonder, Colonel. This here contraption. I feel like I'm inside a clock. Glory be. All for some we ain't never seen. Or even sure is there.
It's there, Mr. Smith. It's there, all right.
You know, Colonel, you're a wonder, too. Yes, sir, a son of a gun of a wonder. How you ever figured out this crazy machine? Oh! Shut the engine. Quicksand!
The hole just disappears, Laura. Put the drill down, then it comes up. It's as though somebody snatched the hole away. Been going on like that for days.
And Mr. Smith?
Oh, he's as baffled as I am. You know, I've been thinking, Laura, about a pipe.
What kind of a pipe?
The drill through a pipe. The pipe would keep everything out of the hole. You know, I think it'd work. But where am I going to get money for pipe? Company won't send any money. They won't even answer my letters. Got to get some cash.
The money from the house?
Oh, it's all gone. I'll need at least $500.
Edwin, borrow it. Go to Mr. Fletcher. I know we still owe him money, but he's your friend. Perhaps he'll guarantee you a loan from the bank at Meadville.
You want me to go into debt even more?
Yes. If we still had that house in New Haven, I'd tell you to borrow on that. Edwin, I want you to succeed in this. You've been through so much. Remember that night I joined you in the dance? But don't you understand what it meant? I accepted your dream, your hope. Nothing matters now but you finding this petroleum.
Cast iron pipe. 50 feet of it in sections. Will you go the note for me? Will you have faith in me?
You're an honest man, Edwin. I've got faith in you. But I don't know about Wilson here. How about you? Will you go for half?
Don't hurry me. Oh. Hitch up the buggy, friend. We ought to be in Meadville in about 2 hours.
In July 1859, the pipe arrived. It was driven through the quicksand, and at 31 feet...
Bedrock. We're down to bedrock. We're through the quicksand. Well, let's start drilling.
Slowly, steadily, the drill pounded. 3 feet a day. Outside, the heat of summer blazed. On the 27th of August, the drill was down to 69 feet.
Hey, Colonel, I just seen Miss Drake. She's coming down the road. Thanks, sir.
This wasn't very sensible of you. Come out in this heat.
Well, this came for you. It's from the Seneca Oil Company.
Perhaps it's money. Oh, those fools. Stupid, cowardly. Listen to this. Dear Edmund, it has been 16 months since you left for Titusville. We have received no petroleum, but only unreasonable requests for funds. Meanwhile, the sale of our stock has been zero. Therefore, it has been decided that we abandon the entire venture. This letter is to direct you to close down all operations, cease drilling, shut the works, and return forthwith to New Haven.
Unreasonable requests. They send me no money, let me struggle, go into debt. Then they high-handedly tell me to shut down the whole project. All right, if that's what they want, that's what they'll get.
You'll do nothing of the kind.
Laura, as far as I'm concerned, that thing can burn to the ground or rot where it stands. Uncle Billy!
What are you doing?
I'm going to shut down that engine once and for all. Uncle Billy!
Edwin, listen to me. Nothing has changed. Can't you see that? Everything you have done up to now, you have done on your own. They never helped you. For a whole year, you didn't need them. You don't need them now. You can finish without them. Only one thing has changed. One thing. When you began, you were a fool. You were ignorant. But now it's those men in New Haven who are the ignorant ones and the fools, and you're the expert. Think of what you have learned, Edwin. That is the only thing that has changed. Are you going to let those fools stop you? You have got to go on. I'm sorry I struck you. It just came over me. I couldn't help it.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. You're a wonder, Laura. It's all right. I'm grateful.
Colonel! Something's happening. Paul says come quick.
Oh, let's get out of here. What is it? The drill out. What's that? I don't know. What's that? Doc, you come back here. I don't know. You run. You never heard nothing like this. You better run. Run with your lives. Everybody's so crazy. Run, damn it, run. What?
He drilled the first oil well. He invented the idea of driving pipe through sand and clay to protect the drilling hole. He was the founder of an industry whose progress was so rapid, so immense, that in a short time there was no room in it anymore for this dreamer. But he didn't care. He had had his great adventure. He had done what no man had done before.